Big news in New Zealand politics. I'm recording this on my lunch break, so try to get it out quickly so people can hear the information that James Shaw has resigned, the co-leader of the Green Party. It is not unexpected. He's been around for a while as leader since 2017. He was an MP prior to that. And he was pretty clear that once, the Labour Party, was voted out, that he was probably going to resign. And that resignation has come. And it makes sense. It's not that surprising. But it is a shame. I think James Shaw is one of the key parts of why the Green Party is at the heights that it is at the moment. It currently has the largest share of parliament that it's ever had before. It had its first ministers in government in 2017 and, the 2017 election and after the 2020 election. That was in no small part James Shaw's doing. I think James Shaw is a steady hand to the Green Party, and he's reliable. I think he brings a sort of legitimacy to the party that I think is, has been sorely missing over the decades that the party has been around. That the party kind of seems like a bunch of quacks, a bunch of far left, annoying people, yelling at the top of their lungs type thing. And I think optically it has, been great to have James Shaw around as this guy that I think that even right-wingers, can say that they like him. And, I know right-wing people, it's anecdotally, but I know right-wing people who say, oh, I hate the Green Party, but, James Shaw, he's not bad, I don't mind him. And I think he will be missed because I don't think there's another person like that in the Green Party. Now, I'm a Green Party supporter, you know me, I'm quite left-wing. And in a lot of parts, I'm more left-wing than many Green Party policies, blah, 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 right? But I'm definitely more left-wing than James Shaw. I think James Shaw is the most conservative member of the Green Party. I think he's further left than most Labour MPs, but I think he is very in his own lane in the Green Party. I think he really cares about environmental issues, and I think he's been the figurehead of that in the party. But the Green Party is more than just environmental issues. It's about social justice, and it's about equity and standing up for human rights. And those are the things that I think James Shaw is being very quiet on. You see many protests that the Green Party participates in. There's Chloe Swarbrick there. There's Golrez there who's just had to resign. There's Marma Davidson who's there at these protests. And your Ricardo Mendes March and other members of the party that at these protests, they're pushing through these people first initiatives for policy and, going out for signatures, pushing these policies out into the public. And I think James Shaw is lacking in those areas. I think he stays very silent in that. And I think I'm not the only one noting this as well. It's said for a while that James Shaw is a bit liberal in the party, a bit more, centrist than a lot of the party is. And I think a lot of the voting base is. And you've seen that with, him having to do, extra votes in the past to try to keep his position as co-leader. He's never, got close to missing out on becoming, staying on as co-leader. But it is interesting that he's been challenged like that in the past because of these criticisms, that he's not as left-wing as a lot of the party is. But I think he will be missed, in this sense. Now, who's going to be the next co-leader? So obviously, Marma Davidson's the co-leader of the party, and then now there's this empty slot. It's going to be filled in March. I think most likely it's going to be Chloe Swarbrick, right? Come on, who else is going to be? She's the most prominent member of the party, even more prominent than James Shaw, even more prominent than Marma Davidson. Everyone knows Chloe. Chloe is a very prominent member of the party. I think she's a policy wonk. I think she's very intelligent. When you hear her talk about policy and how to fix issues, I think, she really understands the issues, and I think she's really good at communicating those issues. And that's what you need in a leader. You don't just need to have, good ideas and good policy, but you need to be able to communicate it to people, and I think Chloe is really good at doing that. So I think she is probably the front runner to get that spot. Then there'll be two female leaders of the Green Party, which is fine. So currently they have a male and a female. They've always had a male and a female co-leader in the party. But the thing is, they changed the rules a couple of years ago to say it doesn't have to have a man and a woman. It has to have at least one woman, I believe. So it could have two women, it could have a trans person, anything like that, right? So they changed those rules, a few years ago. So I think the option there is Chloe Swarbrick. I think the only other contenders that I can think of that have that name recognition and have that, that long-standing, experience, maybe in the party or in political life in general, would be Ricardo Mendes March. He's been a MP for a few elections now. I think he's quite prominent, quite high up in the list. He had a really good run at a seat recently in Mount Albert, and so I think he could be potentially a co-leader there. He's a figurehead in the gay community as well. He's gay, and I think that's a good voice to have the leadership of the party. I don't know if there has there ever been a gay co-leader of like a gay leader of a major party in New Zealand politics? I'm actually unsure. Let me know in the comments if you know that answer. I'm not 100%. I can't think of an answer. Chloe Swarbrick's bi, I believe, as well, so she would also fit that bill in that co-leader position. And the other person I think could be a potential leader, it's a dark horse pick, Efeso Collins. Now, Efeso Collins only just scraped through into the party, but he recently ran for Auckland Mayor. He came in second for the race, quite a distant second. He did lose quite heavily to Brown, but Efeso Collins, I think he has the history of local government in Auckland. He has that name recognition, especially in Auckland, for running for mayor and joining the Green Party recently. He has that experience, coming into national politics. Now, he hasn't been in the party that long, so it's hard to say that he would be the pick. Most likely, I think Chloe Swarbrick's the answer. The real question is if Marimar Davidson sticks it out for the rest of the time. She only became the co-leader in 2017 as well, when the last co-leader had a scandal and she stepped up. So she's been in the same amount of time as James Shaw. And, I think, she is what the party is all about. She's a figurehead of these social justice policies and all that stuff. But maybe they would like to leave at the same time. So you've seen the same thing in the Māori Party, where Tariana Turia and Peter Sharples both left the party at the same time to allow, new people coming into the party. And, so something like Chloe Swarbrick and Ricardo Mendes March could both take over together. Now, I think that might actually hurt the party. So I like both of them, and I would support them both as leader. But without James Shaw in the party, I think that legitimacy and that seriousness of the party might fade away a little bit. And so I don't know how to actually, resolve that issue. But I definitely think that would be an issue. And I definitely think we're going to see that with maybe the Greens are going to be tarred a lot more with crazy left-wing, radicals. Then I think they've got away, they've kind of got away with that the last few years. They haven't really had that issue. And I think that was because of James Shaw. Now, previously, back in the early days, like in Helen Clark's governments and stuff, the Greens were kind of tarred as crazy left-wingers. And they've tried to move away from that, over the John Key years and then over it recently in the Jacinda Ardern years, right? To try to pull away from that, that radical image that they had. But I fear that they might, go back to that. But I'm not really sure. So it is interesting, James Shaw, I don't agree with everything that he's done, I think he's been a great, Minister for Climate Change, under the Labour government. I think he has been a great leader of the Green Party. Now, he doesn't say everything that I agree with. He doesn't seem to stand up for everything that the rest of the party stands up for, because he's so focused on that, climate change issue, which is very important. I hope the party still stays vigilant on that policy as well, and doesn't just, back away from it without James Shaw and then stay, solely on, social justice and all these policies that I do believe in. But climate change is very important, and the Green Party has been a figurehead of this, of these policies that have been coming through, especially through the last Labour government. So thank you for your service, James Shaw. You will be missed. Let me know your thoughts on James Shaw and his resignation in the comments. Thanks.